Hey, is this Tina?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Tina. How are you?
Very good. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it.
You're the caregiver?
Yeah, it's my husband that I'm calling about, but I've been doing a lot of research and kind of been the cheerleader for this whole change, so I'm more educated than the both of us, but I do know a lot of his concerns and a lot of his struggles as a I live with him, and at times it becomes out of a problem.
Okay. How actively involved is he in the recovery?
Oh no, he basically within the last month was told at a doctor's appointment last month. The doctor told him, listen, we put you on every medication. So the next thing is we're going to have to remove your colon. So he came home very, very upset. And I said to him, listen, are you finally ready to listen to me? Because I've been on board with the raw thing and the green juices forever. And he just was convinced because of his doctors, your diet's not going to change it. This is the only cure to cut out your colon. You're going to have this rest of your life. That was so ingrained in his mind. But when I said, listen, you possibly will have a major organ taken out of your body. And once you do that, there's no turning back from that. So, give this a shot. And I wholeheartedly believe it's going to help. So I think, we finally realized, you know what? This is serious. So he's been on board 100%. Right now, he's been, I kind of want to lean him into it because he's coming from, a typical diet of pizzas and fries and burgers and, just all the typical American food.
How old is your husband, Tina?
He's 30.
Okay, he's far too young. But this is very common with the cheese and the bread and the meat leaving behind lots of byproducts, metabolic wastes in the GI tract. What was his official diagnosis?
He has ulcerative colitis.
Okay, and by the way, this isn't, I'm not a medical doctor, right? And I can't give you medical advice?
Yes, I know that.
Okay, cool. But what I do like to do is help people to get healthy. And if you've got inflammation in the GI tract, then obviously you're going to have to change the diet. So desperation now and the removal of his colon, because he knows he has to crap into a bag the rest of his life, right?
Yeah, well, now they're saying there's a new surgery where they can actually stretch part of his small intestine down to the rectum. I mean, I've been doing research on it. There are people who have had it done, but you know what? It just doesn't seem right, and there's a lot of complications that can go wrong. So yeah, it's either the bag or stretching what God gave you and making it do something it shouldn't.
And it doesn't make sense to him to remove vital organs that God and Mother Nature put in there and in some kind of infinite intelligence, right?
And you know what, Dan, the crazy thing is that it's not even addressing, because they're saying it's an autoimmune disease. His immune system is attacking his colon. So the doctors aren't even, he's asked them so many times, yeah, but you're putting me on medicines to stop my immune system from reacting. Steroids, he's been on Remicade, he's been on anti-inflammatories, but they're not addressing why his immune system is attacking his colon. So I said to him, just because you take out your colon doesn't mean your immune system isn't going to attack something else. You know what I mean? You're not addressing why it's attacking these cells.
Tina, why wasn't he willing to call me? Do you know why?
Well, no. He's at the point now where he realizes. He's not on the phone with you, honestly, right now. He's at a place now where he just knows he has to do it. I mean, I just don't know how comfortable he is, really. I've been doing a lot of research, and that's kind of where I feel like, he is on board with me, but it's just been such a passion of mine to want to know more. I'm kind of still convincing him, not convincing him, I've given him great literature to read. We're reading everything. A lot of the books, I watched a ton of your videos. I mean, I'm very well informed, and he's getting there. So I just don't know how confident he felt actually speaking. But
okay, well, let's make a video for him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that would be great, Dan.
And
there's a lot of people that deal with this.
Well, we're already on, so let's just keep moving forward here, and we'll just try to get to the point. And that is that irritable bowel syndrome, obviously, you know that cheeseburgers don't grow on trees. What's happening is that the metabolic wastes that are being left behind in the colon, that's what the immune system is attacking. That's what the white blood cells are attacking, not your colon cells. It recognizes your colon cells as part of the body system, and they're all infinitely intelligent cellular communication with enzymes so that everything functions properly. But if you're eating food like cheese and bread and eggs and meat, which are foreign matters to the body, then the white blood cell count is definitely going to have to shoot up, because those are the little gobblers that are going to gobble up the metabolic waste. Cheese does not digest very well. Bread does not digest, leaving behind a mucus paste. Then the little white blood cells go in there to gobble it up. Well, here's the problem. The little blood cells and the little parasites and viruses that are down inside your colon causing inflammation, because they have to eat the excess stuff. They're trying to help you, and then they have to poop. And then when they poop, that is where you get the pain and the irritation. So the doctors, in other words, they call everything that they don't understand an autoimmune disorder. In other words, we don't know how the body works, so we're going to call this another autoimmune disease, which it's not. It's a very simple. I don't know what your husband's name is. We'll leave it out. But whatever your name is, bro, because I'm talking to you right now, I've seen this work for hundreds of people myself. I know there's thousands, tens of thousands of people who have changed their diet. That's the number one thing that you're going to have to do. If you're addicted to the junk food, that's an issue in itself. You're going to have to deal with that. But at 30 years old, is a tasty, juicy burger worth pooping into a bag the rest of your life, or having your small intestine stretched to your butthole and sewed back on, and removing the most important part of the human body, which is the large intestine? You don't want to cut the large intestine out. You want to clean it out. And it's possible, but it's only going to be possible with the food that's designed to feed a human organism. And in the Bible it says, I have given you all fruit-bearing seed and all the herbs, and for you that would be for meat. Back then, meat meant food, fruits and vegetables, fruits and herbs. And now it means dead animal carcasses, which are causing no end of trouble for people. I'm going to guess in your case, really, it's the cheese and the bread. If you ate the meat raw, it's a lot less. But nobody wants to eat raw meat without seasonings on it. Some people do. But that doesn't combine very well with the other fruits and vegetables, so then you get fermentation and rancidification anyways. So the most important thing that you're going to want to do is to start eating fruits and vegetables today in the most simple combinations possible. There probably will be some irritation at first, but cleaning the large colon is not that hard. It's actually one of the more easier organs to clean out, and that is the colon. There's going to be some inflammation. I would keep the high fiber foods like broccoli and cauliflower and carrots out for now. Maybe juice those, but I would stick to the most tenderest, juiciest fruits, like watermelon and oranges. May be a little upsetting. Watermelon is very cooling. Cucumbers, celery juice. You're going to have to stick to the basics, and this goes for anybody dealing with anything. The more bland and subtle the food, the more effect. Nobody wants that, right? We all want to be excited. Well, guess what happens when we use food for excitement and get addicted to the neurological stimulation of not only the spicy and salty, foods, but also the food enhancers that are in every single junk food, in every single pizza. They've got laboratories designing these foods to get you strung out. So now we've got the biological proclivity to eat stimulating foods, and now you know that science has taken advantage of that, and the food manufacturers, which is like the billion-dollar industry, which leads into the trillion-dollar death industry, and that they're taking these chemicals and getting you hooked. Now, we all have to get sobered up off cheeseburgers, okay? And food is the last late great drug. And neurologically, we get strung out, and then the mind does all this stuff. You know you want to eat fruits and vegetables, but your mind starts kicking. You think you're going to eat something that tastes good because you've been an addict your whole life. You eat it and you feel like crap. It doesn't work. The only thing that works is to get back to common sense and eat fruits and vegetables and to subdue your senses, which are strung out on food being the last great drug. People think, oh, food's not a drug. Go to Christmas, go to holidays, look at how everyone is. The whole thing revolves around food. You threaten people with taking away their pecan pie or their cheeseburgers or their french fries or their mashed potatoes with gravy, bacon, egg, sausage, hash browns, toast, all the foods that leave behind those metabolic wastes, which create toxicity in the large colon. So, I want to get to the point. Mr. G, I'll call you that if I can. Fruits, like watermelon, epic. Bananas are going to be soothing. Celery juice is going to be soothing. Cucumber juice. Leafy green herbal vegetable juices. Here's the prescription to simplify, and I tell this to everyone. I'm sorry to oversimplify everything, but I have to because there's, thousands of people with different cases. But the best way I feel to eat, and I don't do perfect all the time, but I'm getting better all the time, is fresh, in-season, tree-ripened fruits. As much as you want. And then leafy green herbal vegetable juices. This is more of the healing diet. Later on, when all the inflammation is gone and we've healed and regenerated whatever issue we're dealing with, and then once all of your issues are gone, you can do like me and really want to get into the emotional and the mental regeneration of your spirit, and using food as part of that. But until then, the healing diet is the whole fruits and the leafy green herbs. Then you can bring in the soaked nuts and seeds later and some more of the more fibrous vegetables when your GI tract is strengthened again. Okay? So fruits and herbs, and I know that your wife's been telling you for a long time probably. How long have you been working with your husband, Tina?
I've always been pushing this message on him. It's been honestly the last month that he has been on board and just said, I'm done with the doctor. He stopped taking his medications. Prednisone you have to wean off of. He's been off of that for a while.
Good.
He decided to stop taking his medications, and he's 100% on board. So the two of us, I'm doing it with him. For the last month, no meat, no eggs, and really now the last couple weeks have been green juicing, fruits. So he's on board, and he's in the midst of it. One thing, though, that he is struggling with is that because this ulcerative colitis has caused him to have frequent diarrhea, frequent bowel movements, many times a day, sometimes with urgency. He's noticing, and obviously the fruits and the vegetables are increasing that. It's not scaring him off. He knows that it's ridding, his body of what it needs to rid, but is there any way to ease that? And I know this may be something he has to deal with, but...
No, there's definitely a way to ease that. Are you familiar with my friend Robert Morse?
Yes, I've heard you mention him, yes.
Okay, you want to go to his website, godsherbs.com, and you probably want to get a bowel formula, probably one, maybe two, maybe it would be better to try two. Bowel formula number 2, it's gentle, and it cleanses. It'll help to cleanse and strengthen the GI wall, and the small intestine as well, and it'll also help to strengthen the large intestine. He's also got a GI broom, which will be very helpful. It has helped many of my friends that are dealing with the same thing, diarrhea or inflammation of the colon, and that's called the GI broom. You mix that with a little fruit juice, and then you drink it down, and it pulls toxins out, and it soothes and heals the GI tract wall. So you're going to want the bowel formula, and you're also going to want the GI broom. Another thing too is he's going to want to strengthen his adrenals. So if you're over there and you've spent tons of money on pharmaceuticals anyways, and you want to get some herbs, you might want to try an adrenal formula. And look further into it and read about the detox kit. That might help him. I mean, I know it'll help him. It'll help everybody because the herbs are very strengthening. But the adrenals are important to start producing the neurotransmitters that he's going to need to alkalize. So he's going to want to make sure he gets plenty of sleep. You may want to look into getting several colonics. Just try one at first and see how it goes with somebody who's real gentle. Every colonic therapist I ever met was qualified and very gentle. So they all knew what they were doing. That might help him to get rid of the diarrhea, along with the bowel formulas and the GI broom. And then the rest of the system, the endocrine glands are going to need to come back online, and so that he can strengthen up the production of neurotransmitters, that they're going to strengthen up the rest of the body, enhance the immune system, and get the rest of that stuff cleaned up out of there. So, Mr. G, please do not be afraid to go get a colonic. Everybody else, there's certain teachers that will tell you that colonics aren't natural, but you'd have to see what I've seen in people's faces, the elimination of so much suffering just by getting a little hose shoved up your butt and cleaning out the junk, because cheeseburgers aren't natural either. So if you eat a total raw food diet and you eat perfect all the time and you always eat, here's another thing, you want to make sure you never eat under stress, Mr. G. You always want to eat your fruits and your green juices and your tender salads for relaxation time under very calm, relaxful conditions. Put on some classical music, light a candle, make every meal a religious experience, that you're feeding the cells in your body. You're healing your body every single time. I will remember to do that too. I inspire myself on these videos. Sometimes I eat in a rush and I pay for it. And I thank you so much for letting me make these videos, Tina, and all my friends on YouTube, because I learn just as much as you do. It all comes from a whole nother place way out there, from La La Land, and I call it the love of God, because I have read 10 million books, and I've also had a lot of experiences working with people, and I've had my own experiences. So once the medical thing stops working, then we search alternative routes, and then finally at the last minute we'll be like, okay, I've suffered long enough, and you'll start to eat the natural food again, which is the fruits and the herbs. Is there anything else, Tina?
Just one more question. Because this is something we're both not clear on, is it possible, because we're misconfusing or misinterpreting diarrhea with eliminating, and our minds, we think it's not eliminating toxins, is it? It's just undigested food. I mean, he's not absorbing his food, so whenever, I come across things that say detox or eliminate, he's eliminating up to 15 times a day. So
how much?
That's not, I mean, at his worst, it could be 15 times a day, sometimes, 8, but he goes frequently to the bathroom, diarrhea. So
and
is that...
Is it the juice? Is it the juice coming out?
Well, yeah, lately since he's been juicing, it's been in and out, fruit in and out.
Okay, so good. He's going to want to do the colonic, at least one, and maybe a series of 6 to 8 of them over the course of a month or a month and a half. So like one, maybe 1 or 2 a week. But try one at first and just see how it goes. I think it'll be very beneficial. And explain to the therapist what's going on. But also, you've basically, here's what's going on with the human beings, is that you've got a layer of slime clogging up the porous cells in your body that are supposed to absorb. There's little hairs in the GI tract. They're called villi in the small intestine. Okay? And after cheese and bread and milk and meat over the course of your life, the GI tract, the villi in the GI tract lay down in a slime paste. And so, and you'll see what I'm doing here on the video when you watch it later, Tina. But it's laid back in a thick layer of mucus, all surrounding. Because imagine eating cheese; it's a slime paste. Cheese is a slimy paste. The bread is probably one of the worst. Gluten, okay? They can use milk casein as glue, and they can use gluten, wheat gluten, paper mache in high school. That's glue. And you've got a layer of glue on the inside of your GI tract. So how is anything going to get absorbed? The villi need to be out like this, floating freely in the circular around the GI tract wall, the small intestine, so that nutrients can get sucked in, water soluble through there. You've got junk in here, slime paste in the middle of the villi, and then it just slimes down, and then how's anything going to get absorbed? It's not. It's going to slip on through. But slowly but surely, as you eat fruits and the green juices, especially the fruits, and the tender cellulose fiber, you're going to start to break that mucus loose. It's going to start to break loose, and those villi are going to start to come back out again. You're going to start absorbing your food, and then it's not going to be sitting on the GI tract wall, fermenting, rancidifying, putrefying, where the viruses and the bacteria are coming to come gobble that stuff up. The viruses and bacteria are pooping in your GI tract, making your breath stink, causing you inflammation, pain, ulcerative colitis. So fruits, green juices, rest, strengthen the adrenals, and a couple of colonics.
Eventually, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Tina.
Eventually, too. Eventually, I think he is interested because he's been reading amazing literature on fasting. I think, from on water fasting, I think optimally when the time is right, if that was you, would you say that would help?
If that was me, you bet your sweet butt I would. I'm going in on the second for a water fast, and I hope to clear up some stuff that's been hanging with me. But for me, it's mostly mental, emotional stuff. But for other stuff like this, it's all tied in. The whole body is one unit. So the water fasting, of course, I don't advocate it that much. I'm able to do so lately because I'm going in on my own, so I keep planting a few seeds. But the ultimate healing form is water fasting. That's nature's way, but you got to work your way into it slowly and intelligently. You got to study it. You got to know it. You got to have somebody who knows how to break a fast. Any fool can fast. But it takes an intelligent man to break a fast properly, and you want to break it with very light cleansing foods, watermelon, oranges, something like that. So, just read everything about it and turn yourself in for the first ones. Get the help. I go to True North Health. Those guys are geniuses. We differ a little bit in our eating, but they're very intellectual at the True North Health, and it's very solid, stable, scientific, 100% safety. Over 8,000 fasts and not one issue, which is very, very rare, because there's always somebody who's just so far gone or something. But in the case of your husband, the answer to that is yes. Water fasting is the ultimate. And you may want to we all need to learn about incremental fasting. Another thing that would be very beneficial for him is to do a water fast 24 to 36 hours each week. That will help to start sending out pancreatic enzymes into the small intestine. 16 hours later, the pancreas will start to dump enzymes and start to gobble up and break up some of that old junk. So a water fast once a week will be very helpful for you, my friend, Mr. G and Tina there. So how does that? Yeah, he's going to be definitely a candidate to tone up. That's the finalization stage. Once you've taken the fruits and the green juice cleansing as far as you can, and it's just time to get in there and get her done, then the water fasting is the ultimate scenario for us human beings.
Thank you so much, Dan. I watch your videos all the time. You inspired me, and I know countless other people. I really want to thank you for taking the time to speak to me, and I know you've inspired me and yourself, and I hope everyone watching just knows that, you don't have to suffer.
Yeah, we do not have to suffer. It'll be our own choices. Our own choices either bring us health or they bring us suffering. And we just got off track a while ago. There's a lot of BS, and it's all about the money. And we just need to go, okay. If we understand the nature of the human ego, and it's all about money, then why would they tell us that this is good and this is right and this is how we need to do it? Because it is all about the money. If we want to get the truth and we want to get well, you have to have suffered. If you suffered, then you get the compassion and you get up on here and you realize that, you know, I'm the one who's lucky. You guys have inspired me. You've kept me accountable. I am inspired because to be a better person and to do my best. And I think about you guys every day, and I do my best. So you guys inspire me too. And we all inspire each other, and we need to support one another and make fruits and vegetables the food of mankind again. And I'm going to head the whole thing up, and we're going to get this message out there and make fruits and vegetables cool, hip, and sexy. And we're going to start at the grassroots level, and we're going to change our lives by simply being aware of what we put into our mouths. And if we have gotten off track and we have an issue or an illness, in this case, the irritable bowel, then we're going to use the proper healing methods of detoxification, alkalization for the regeneration of cells in the body. So let's keep going, and let's support one another. Mr. G, thank you. I appreciate you and I applaud your courage. This may not be easy, but if we keep going at it, we will get the results we desire. We will get relief, and we will live free in our bodies.
Thank you so much, Dan.
Thank you, Tina. Let me know how this goes. You can stay in touch. Email's the best, the one that you sent me before, and we can hopefully we can do a catch-up video or a check-back-in video, you know, in 3 or 6 months. But if something miraculously good happens, then maybe sooner than that.
All right, sounds good. You got it.
Okay, thank you, Tina. Peace, Mr. G. Do your good job. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you, my friends, very much. I appreciate your time and attention, of course, and I hope that you'll subscribe to these videos, and maybe this one would be a good one for, you know, the more straight-edge people. We hit on some real good points today, and I don't have a clown wig on. I didn't say anything too weird, but I sure do care about you, and I am sure the luckiest guy in the whole world to have the job that I have, to be able to be of service this way. I still am blown away every day. I'm humbled, and you put me on fire to be the best human being I can be in every single way. And my success is all of our success, and your success is all of our success. So if we really want to make this a better world, we'll take our health into our own hands, we'll take our emotions into our own hands, and we'll take our mind into our own hands, and we'll become the master of our own destiny. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.